Hi, you guys. I'm Rick Dancer. We are at St Vincent de Paul. If you are thinking of doing holiday shopping, which you have to, obviously, because it is the holidays, St Vincent de Paul is a place you can go get quality stuff. But in addition to that, the money you're providing to them is going to pay for programs like the one we're just going to talk about in just a couple of minutes here. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you to...
Hi, my name is Casey Totten.
And this is the Connections program. Is kind of explain to people what this does.
Yeah, so Connections is a 2-year transitional housing program for homeless families in Lane County. So we serve all homeless families. Yeah.
So this is when somebody ends up in a situation where they are homeless, you guys go in and you try to figure out and teach them classes, financial classes, help them pay rent to get them back on their feet, and then address some of the issues that may have helped them become homeless.
Yeah, totally. So it's an up to 2-year program, and they work intensively with a case manager for the first 6 months, and then that can taper off depending on their needs. We expect them to open a savings account and save monthly, just establishing good financial decisions and just better life choices.
So you're really teaching people how to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that old line where it says, instead of just leaving people, you're actually educating and helping them and addressing all kinds of concerns for people.
Yeah, so it's really just, a lot of the case management entails just working, in depth on what led to their instability and homelessness, and then how to do it better this time around, being safe and in a home.
And you love your job.
I do, yeah. I've been here about 5 years, and I really love it.
All right, we're going to talk to somebody. This is Corey, and Corey is a Connections member. You're one of the clients.
Yes,
so
I am.
You're somebody who is going through the program. You're in the middle of the program. Mm-hmm. So kind of tell people your story and how you got to the situation you were in.
Well, in 2016, I lost my home due to a rent increase. It was way over my limit, my income.
So they jacked your rent, $300.
Yep. In a very small apartment. But I was there for 5.5 years, and they didn't want to work with me because of the rent increase in all of Lane County. So I ended up homeless, and I was homeless for about a year, close to a year, before I got picked up with the Connections program.
So you're living in a car, you're sleeping in a car, your kids are staying with your parents, you have a 10-year-old and a 6-year-old?
Correct.
So you're separated from that, you're going to the family center, First Place Family Center, to take a shower and to get yourself together and moving. That sounds pretty horrible.
It was pretty awful. I'm grateful for the services that were available to me and many others out there that are struggling right now.
When you found this program, what is it teaching you?
They taught a lot about income, or what to do with my income, how to spend my money, and they're teaching me how to save money, which is really important, because I think that if I had a savings account, I probably would have been in a different situation.
But that's hard. It's hard for all of us, don't you think?
Yeah,
and especially if you're in a situation where you're a single mom and you're trying to provide for your kids, and
And I was unemployed at the time too, so it was way out of my means. Even trying to get a job to supplement it was impossible.
Melody says, I'm glad you're getting help with these people. That's St. Vincent de Paul. Hang in there, you got this.
Thanks.
That's Melody, thank you. So you guys, the reason we're here in the store is because when you purchase stuff in the store, it pays for programs that can do this stuff like that. You knew that sorta.
Yeah, I know a little bit because I have family that works for St. Vincent de Paul, but I didn't have any idea about these types of programs.
So, in terms of your life, did you have hope when you were sleeping nights in that car?
No, it's really defeating.
You feel about like nothing.
Yeah, it's just really defeating. You feel like you're never going to get anywhere. You're stuck where you're at. So
when you say Connections, the name of the program, what does that mean to you?
It gives me resources, people that I can reach out to for help if I am struggling. If I have a question for anything, I can call my caseworker and she can help me figure out an answer.
So they're really like mentors?
Yeah, I feel like that, absolutely.
And you're learning the hard skills of savings account. I could probably take this class
Yeah.
myself, you know what I mean? It's like I think all of us could use a little help in that area, don't you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm still trying to figure that out.
I'm trying to get back into college, and then I eventually want to try and buy my own home. So, I don't know.
That's a big deal, huh?
Yeah, it is.
What does that say to you? I mean,
I think that the biggest reason I want to buy my own home is my parents had one when I was growing up, and I didn't ever have to worry about being homeless, and I want to be able to give that to my own children.
So that gets kind of emotional for you.
Absolutely.
Why? Because you really, you believe you can do it.
I know I can do it. It's just taking some time.
It takes some time and effort and hard work.
And some help.
So how long have you been in the program then? A year?
No, I've been in the program since May.
Okay, so you get up to 2 years in the program then.
Yeah.
And that'll get you through and get you on your feet and get you doing stuff.
Absolutely.
So you have a home now.
I do. I actually have a house.
We are St. Vinny supporters. Yes, good job. It's good to make your dreams come true. I think Melanie's like, she must be here. She must be like the big St. Vincent person here. You know, I mean, she's getting into that. So encourage people to how they can help people like yourself.
I think just the first thing that you need to do in all of society is not judge people. It's really hard and defeating when somebody judges you for something that's happened, even if it's a mistake that you made and you take accountability for. Things happen in life, so you need to be supportive. And I think that just reaching out to St. Vinny's, shopping secondhand is wonderful because you don't have all of you don't have to spend so much money on things and items that are not worth it. So
Rick Olson says, "Stay strong. Much respect to you."
Thanks.
So yeah, they're liking you,
right?
And I love what you said too. Is quit the judgment.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to sit in your car and drive by people, or see people in a car, or see people doing stuff, and have a thought.
Yep.
And that doesn't help because you notice it, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I see it on everything, not just a single mom, but a single dad, an individual without children. It's difficult for everybody at any point in their life.
So give you a break.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yes.
I think that's a good message for everybody.
I agree.
Okay, come here. So this is the woman who watches her and guides her and helps her. So you are?
I'm Sonia. I am a case manager with the Connections program.
How many people do you manage?
I currently have 9 families on my caseload. It ranges between no more than 11.
Biggest thing you see, common thread?
Just a lot of misunderstanding. You know, we see people acting out or having problems, and we end up not really thinking, wow, they just must have a bad day. And that's a lot of our families come into the program like that, feeling very misunderstood, feeling like people don't listen to them when they're trying to explain. And so that's what we do, is we get them in and try to work on how do you communicate with people when you're not feeling like you're being heard.
So you give people a voice.
Yes, that's what
you
we
and I
try
have
to
the
do.
same job. I like that about you.
Yes.
Why is that so important that people are heard?
Because if people aren't heard, then we continue the cycle, and then we don't learn. I learn something new with every client that I have, every family that I work with, and we work with them for up to 2 years. So we really get ingrained with our families. I'm at their house weekly.
Seriously, would hate to have your job. I bet you cry when you have to get rid of, you're done with a family. You probably go, oh my gosh.
Sometimes,
Or
yes.
you just stay in their life, don't you?
I have contact with some of my families throughout. They call me back for resources, or we just check in once in a while. Families who've done well and families who haven't. And it's a struggle because we're asking people to change the way they think and the way they do things to hopefully get the support and not be homeless again.
And just accepting people for who they are.
Yeah.
Just giving them skills to make themselves
Yes.
really who they are.
Yeah, and I was homeless 20 years ago here
Really?
in Eugene, and I think that's what drives me. And when I'm frustrated with families because they are scared to make change, I have to take a breath and step back and just remember what it was like, and
Is that the hardest thing because I think it is with regular, just all of us,
Yes.
homeless or not, is to
Yes.
make real change
Yeah.
in how you behave or how you see things is really tough.
Yes, it is. It just, we just see this behavior and we make assumptions. I still every once in a while go, oh my gosh, and then I have to go, okay, they're hurting. What's going on here? What can we do to step back and just maybe restart and learn from it? And it's ever evolving.
So you were there.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
makes you better at what you do, doesn't it?
I don't know. It gives me a lot more understanding.
Right.
I think people trust that I understand what it's like you have children to get to school, but the laundry's not done and the laundromat's not open. And, you know, that assumption that, well, you get this money and you don't pay for rent, where does it go? Well, it costs a lot of money to live day by day. You can't buy refrigerated foods. You have clothes and you have to go to a laundromat. You just don't have those resources in places.
Do this for me, because Rick Olson's on here and he says we need to have a conversation with people and actually listen to them. Take a moment in a day to find out about somebody. You're right. Don't judge. Just listen to people. And I'll tell you what, because Corey's over here nodding her head, and like really hard. So I think that hits a note with people, you know,
Yes.
to be understood and kind of listen to people a little bit more. And how can people help you guys with your program?
Our program, we're fund based. So if people can donate to Vinnie's, for the Connections program or any of our housing programs, that gives us the ability to help people get driver's license, help them get your birth certificates, just all these little things that are barriers to them either getting Social Security or being able to drive and go to work. But it just, we have to have money to help these families.
Right. So donate.
Yes.
And thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
I love your job. I know it has hard days.
Yes,
really
it does.
hard days.
It's
but
hard.
I mean, think of people like, well, look at her. She's just sitting there. Corey's staring at you. She kind of changed your world, huh?
Yep, she
Yeah.
definitely did.
So you guys, this is the time of year. You could come talk to me, Paula. This is Paula Berry. She's my friend. She also works for St. Vinny's. So this is the time of year when a lot of people are looking for those last-minute tax write-offs.
Yes, it is.
Because we're getting into December. And how can they do that? What can they do?
Well, they can do it lots of ways. They can go on to our website at svdp.us and donate. There's a list of things you can donate to, different programs. Or if you just want to give to the general need and leave it up to our discretion as to where the funds need to be, you can stop by, drop off a check. You can volunteer your time. You can volunteer clothing. You can drop off stuff at our donation centers. All that stuff comes in back and helps us with our program. So any way you feel to give, we will accept.
And what I love about St. Vinny's, too, is that every time I do it now, I'm doing videos with shelter care. Well, you're connected with shelter
Yes,
care.
we
They're
are.
connected. Everybody's helping each other because the bottom line is Corey.
Yep.
It's all the
absolutely.
people like Corey that we're really out here to do this for.
Yes, and it's good to remind people of that because it's not just about the sales at the stores or running a different ad campaign. It's really about the people, and we are connected, and it takes a village. It really does, and we are lucky to live in this community.
So by the end of the month of December,
Yes.
Get your donations in, those last minute donations.
Yep.
Do what I'm doing right now is I'm going to my accountant and I'm saying, okay, so how
Yes.
much do I really, if I don't want to pay too many taxes, what do I need to donate?
That's
and,
right.
And she's telling me,
Yeah.
and then you guys don't go buy something for your business. Instead,
Yeah.
you can donate it to St. Vinny's and let them decide where to go,
Yeah, and
where
there's
to put
several
it.
ways you can do. You can donate stock if you want. You can do any of that kind of stuff. So
Cars, you guys do
you
cars.
can donate cars. Yeah.
If you got a clunker, not too much of a clunker, but I mean, well, they'll take a clunker. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Stop mowing around it.
if you've got a Jaguar, they'll take that
Yeah,
too. Because there's just a lot of different things you can do. Oh man, but Melody is like your biggest fan. She's like all over this thing. So you guys, again, St. Vincent de Paul, the Connections program. We have been featuring at programs. We got 2 more we're going to do in December
we are.
to feature different programs at St. Vincent de Paul's to give you guys an idea, and you get to meet people like Corey. Which, hey Corey, when you're go bring him over here. This is just like my wife and me. This is what we do. Come on, put him on. Just put him on. Oh, it's Jackie O. There she is. You're a nut. So that's the face and what we're talking about, you guys. That beautiful woman changing her life because people care about her. So that's what we're doing here, right?
Yep.
I like you're a nice person. I like who you are. We got to meet your kids next time.
Yeah,
When you
okay.
graduate the program, we'll have to come back and do something. Okay?
I think that's awesome.
Okay, we'll have to talk to you then.
Okay.
All right, you guys. So that's it for this edition of Rick Dancer, Live with Rick Dancer. What do we have coming up this week? Tomorrow, I've got an expert on domestic abuse, child sex abuse, and we're going to talk about Me Too. Not me, but Me Too, the issue of Me Too. And this woman's going to, it may be a little bit sensitive of a topic for people, but buck up. That's what we're all about. It's Get Real with Rick Dancer. You're just going to have to listen. And then on Wednesday, I can't remember, Thursday, I'm going to introduce you to the new ambassador of Coburg. He's a young man who happens to experience a disability, but he's the smartest guy you'll ever meet. And I got RideSource with LTD. He experienced life in a wheelchair, and so I've been working my butt off to get this show in order. His wheelchair, his van won't go through the car wash, and we're going to take him through the car wash to do an At the Car Wash show, but his van won't go through it. And I said, how much do you weigh? I'll pick you up and put you in my car. He goes, 115 pounds. So I said, okay, but then RideSource called me today, and they're going to donate a ride for Jameson Bowman through the car wash. That's a good thing. So that's going to be a really special show. And then Friday night we'll be at Northwest Hat Company having a little party with Artwork in downtown Eugene. So now I got to go because you got me all getting all emotional. And but it's my show, so I can do that if I want to. Take this for the thing you can do for Corey and Casey and Paula and everybody here is post this on your page. Just share this on your page so other people can see it. If you know people who are struggling and looking for a program that they may be able to connect to, think of Connections with St Vincent de Paul and get this on their page so they can find out more about it, okay? All right. See you later. Thanks for the big hug, Melanie. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Live with Rick Dancer.